Nonetheless, ease and peace had left these people still curiously tough. They were, if it came to it, difficult to daunt or to kill, and they were perhaps so unwearyingly fond of good things, not least because they could, when put to it, do without them, and could survive rough handling by grief, foe, or weather in a way that astonished those who did not know them well and looked no further than their bellies and their well-fed faces. Though slow to quarrel, and for sport killing nothing that lived, they were doughty at bay, and at need could still handle arms. They shot well with their bows, for they were keen-eyed and sure at the mark. Not only with bows and arrows. If any hobbit stopped for a stone, it was well to get quickly under cover, as all trespassing beasts knew very well. All hobbits had originally lived in holes in the ground, or so they believed, and in such dwellings they still felt most at home. But in the course of time they had been obliged to adopt other forms of adobe. Actually, in the Shire in Bilbo's days, it was, as a rule, only the richest and the poorest hobbits that maintained the old custom. The poorest went on living in burrows of the most primitive kind, mere holes indeed, with only one window or none, while the well-to-do still constructed more luxurious versions of the simple diggings of old. But suitable sites for these large and ramified tunnels, or smiles as they call them, were not everywhere to be found, and in the flats and the low-lying districts the hobbits, as they multiplied, began to build above ground. Indeed, even in the hilly regions and the older villages such as Hobbiton or Tugborough, or in the chief township of the Shire, Delvin on the White Downs, there were now many houses of wood, brick or stone. These were specially favored by millers, smiths, ropers and cartwrights, and other of that sort. For even when they had holes to live in, hobbits had long been accustomed to build sheds and workshops. The habit of building farmhouses and barns was said to have begun among inhabitants of the marsh down by the Brandywine. The hobbits of that quarter, the East Farthing, were rather large and heavy-legged, and they wore dwarf boots in muddy weather, but they were well known to be stewards in a large part of their blood, as indeed was shown by the dawn that many grew on their chin. No Harfoot or Fellahite had any trace of a beard. Indeed, the folk of the Marish and of Buckland, east of the Shire, which they afterwards occupied, came for the most part later into the Shire up from the south away, and they still had many peculiar names and strange words not found elsewhere in the Shire. It is possible that the craft of building, as many other crafts beside, was derived from the Dunedain, but the hobbits may have learned it directly from the elves, the teachers of men in their use.